What if everything you were taught about Africa was incomplete? What if Africa wasn't waiting to be discovered, but was already discovered, already built, already powerful, long before colonization ever arrived? Tonight, we are not telling a comfortable story. We are uncovering a buried one. This is the Africa before colonization. A civilization the world erased. This is Echoes of Africa. Before colonization, Africa was not silent. It was not empty. It was not backward. Africa was organized. There were kingdoms with laws, empires with borders, cities with planning, universities where knowledge was sacred. Long before foreign ships touched African shores, Africans governed themselves. Through councils, elders, spiritual systems, and justice. Power was not chaos. Power was structured. And yet, history books would later reduce all of this to a single dangerous word: primitive. But nothing about Africa was primitive. Let's talk about the empires they couldn't completely erase. The Mali Empire. So wealthy that when Mansa Musa traveled, gold lost its value in entire cities. Timbuktu. Home to libraries holding hundreds of thousands of manuscripts on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and law. The Songhai Empire. With universities, trade regulations, and military organization that rivaled any empire of its time. The Benin Kingdom. With city planning so advanced that European visitors were stunned into silence. These were not myths. They were documented. Until documentation became inconvenient. Power in pre-colonial Africa did not belong to men alone. Queens ruled. Queen mothers advised. Women commanded armies. Leadership was not inherited blindly. It was earned, tested, and spiritually validated. African governance balanced authority with responsibility. A king who ruled unjustly could be removed. A leader who betrayed the people lost legitimacy. This system terrified outsiders. Because it didn't rely on domination. It relied on balance. Then came the ships. Then came the maps. Then came the rewriting. Borders were drawn without consent. Languages were dismissed as noise. Spiritual systems were called superstition. African history was reframed. Not to tell the truth, but to justify control. Libraries were burned. Artifacts were stolen. Kings were labeled tribal chiefs. And slowly, Africa was introduced to the world as a place without history. That was not an accident. It was strategy. Colonization did not only take land. It took memory. It took confidence. It took identity. When a people forget who they were, they can be told who they are. That was the greatest theft of all. Not gold. Not resources. But self-knowledge. But here's the truth they didn't plan for. History has echoes. Stories survive in oral tradition. Truth hides in proverbs. Power sleeps in memory. And today, Africa is remembering. Not as victims, but as builders, scholars, warriors, kings, queens. The erased civilization is speaking again. This is only the beginning. In the next story, we will uncover specific cities they tried to bury, and the knowledge systems the modern world quietly borrowed. If this story stirred something in you, that's not anger. That's recognition. Subscribe to Echoes of Africa. Share this story. Because history didn't disappear. It was silenced. And we are breaking that silence. One echo at a time.